Oh, do I feel good today? What is up, DTL Universe? It's your boy, the coach, and we are back. Just like we are every single weekday, live on Stadium, on Amazon Prime, on YouTube TV, on Roku TV. How about the Stadium app? You can find my guys all over the app as well. Do not forget, we are live on Stadium every Thursday, Sunday, and Monday nights at 7 Eastern time as well. Now, you know I got the best crew in the building, but did I say building? Yes, the NBA launches today. John says, oh, it's just the gift that keeps on giving. Now, all of the sports are active at the same time, which is awesome. Now, we've got to start believing in the Ravens because last night we were heavily invested in the Bucs, and Lamar Jackson went out and did his thing. I'm talking 5 touchdowns, 41 points, the overcast 41-31. Let's go ahead and take a look at how the show did. Not our best night because those Bucs couldn't stay within 3.5, couldn't stay within 9.5, but that's what happens when you think it's going to go one way. So we have a bounce back Tuesday today. Do not forget, we got an incredibly busy schedule. We've got content coming out of our ears. So easiest thing to do, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You got all the degenerates over there. And then turn on those notifications. And every single time that we start any show, you will be notified. Greg says, Sports Utopia. I feel that, Greg. And then every single weekday, we have a live new podcast. It is not the morning show audio. It's brand new. We tape it after the show, 20 to 30 minutes. Download it, share it, tell all your friends. And you premium members, you crew members, you know you get a ton of extra content. You get the video of the podcast as well. Now, Howie Schwab, he would have loved today with all of the sports. Here are our choices. You can vote, and we will reveal the choice at the end of the show, and we'll all play together. Knicks, Celtics, Timberwolves, Lakers, night one of the NBA. Get your vote in, and we will reveal at the end of the show. All right, that is all the housekeeping that I need to do. I've got crew members that are chomping at the bit on a Tuesday. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the picks. Shout out to Kevin in the chat. He said, you know what you do when it's NBA opening day? You work from home so you can watch DTL live, and in Technicolor, baby. A little Adam Cole right there. If you know, you know. Now look at my guys. My goodness. Either he's got a meeting coming up later today or he's just trying to outshine the rest of us. The man from Memphis, Tennessee. Good morning, DG.
Morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. Yeah, been in meetings since 6 a.m. this morning. Had to do this, and then I'm going to run back. So big day for me personally.
Oh, stop it. Don't act like you have meetings all over the place. Like you're important, like you're doing something, like saving people from a hurricane. Just stop it. All right, now he is our numbers guy. Rafael Esparza. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. It's a great Tuesday. NBA on the schedule. You know what? Less than a month away before college hoops tips off. It's just a great time of the year.
Can we enjoy today, Rafael? Can we just enjoy today? And we're talking about Indiana playing UCLA and hoops in November. That's actually a Big Ten game that's going to happen this year. That sucks. All right, this man, he does everything for us. He does hockey, he does soccer, he does basketball, he does baseball, he does live betting. He's the man from the Dirty. Big Chuck, good morning.
Morning, Coach, crew. Yesterday, that was the definition of a bad luck day, but I'm happy to see DG made time for us also. So excited to get this day going and see about what these picks have to offer.
It is kind of nice that he made time for little old us today. Well, as many of you already know, the NBA season kicks off tonight with a doubleheader on TNT, and you really can't ask from a storyline for much more than this. The Knicks, the new look Knicks, they made a big trade in the offseason. We know that Randall, DiVincenzo, they went to Minnesota. The Celtics, they are the defending champions. Can they repeat? Then at 10 p.m. Eastern time. The Timberwolves are in L.A. The Lakers. History could be made if LeBron and Bronny get on the court at the same time tonight. So, DG, you are our NBA aficionado. You host Grizzlies postgame show in Memphis the entire NBA season. Can't wait to follow that. Can't wait to tout that. So, obviously, we need to start with you right here, right now. As you look at this doubleheader tonight, the first and obvious question is, can the Celtics, who are the betting favorite, can they repeat and go 2 in a row?
Repeating is so tough. In any sport, it's very tough. But I will say that the Celtics have a really good chance. They have all the pieces. their bench is incredible. And I know that they traded off some people, but man, this Celtics team is coached well, the franchise as well. I think they have a really good chance to repeat this year.
All the drama in the offseason, Raphael, was about, who didn't play for the United States team? Mr. Brown. And so I don't know if he's going to take that chip on his shoulder into this season, but they've got to figure out, because motivation to repeat is one of the hardest things in all of sports to do.
And what's a better motivation? A chip on your shoulder is a better motivation, because Tatum feels like a big chip on his shoulder, how disrespected he got in the Olympics. So I'm very curious to see how fast the Celtics start off. I know they're a little bit injury prone to start the season, but throughout the whole season, if they can continue to stay healthy, DG said it, their bench is phenomenal. Their bench can probably beat the Grizzlies starting five, but that's a different story. I'm really excited to see what the Celtics do all season long.
A shout out to Carl. He said history will be made, then he will get sent to the G League. That's the second game tonight, Big Chuck. And I know there's a little bit of LeBron fatigue. I get all that. But if we can just table that for a second and look at what's right in front of us, something that in our lifetimes, and this is why I love sports, it's why I picked this profession, it's about the moments. And tonight we have a chance to see a moment that we've never seen before. And I would dare say, certainly in our lifetimes, we will never see again.
I'm curious to see if how many minutes if Bronny gets any tonight. I think this may be a close competitive game. I see the Lakers were favorites. Now it looks like the T-Wolves are favorites, and I think we'll actually see some points. And with the with everyone in attendance, to come and see the James duo, I'm anxious to see what they put on the court and if Bronny does get any significant minutes.
Well, he did score 17 in the last preseason game and looked pretty good. So we'll see if I mean, come on, JJ Redick. Just give him a couple of minutes on the court with LeBron. Let's just have that, can we? All right, you guys come here in the A's for our picks, and it's a very light day. There still is a little football. There's obviously basketball, but where do we go? So, DG, I'm going to let you start us off. What do you got for us today?
Yeah, we're going to go to a little bit of the football to start off with. Louisiana Tech in the first half, team total over 13.5. It's at minus 125. They averaged 14.4 points in the first half, and then UTEP, they suck. They allowed 19.3 first half points per game, the 18th most in the entire football at all. So I would just say go with Louisiana Tech, first half team total over 13.5. Then we're going to go to Karl Anthony Towns.
Ooh.
Meow. 12 plus rebounds at plus 115. I don't know if you know this. He's the only center they have for the entire New York Knicks. Everybody else is hurt. So the big meow, Karl Anthony Towns, 12 plus rebounds at plus 115. My last one, my guy, Naz Reid. I love this dude. He crushes the Lakers. 2+ in every game versus Los Angeles last year. He averaged 4 3-pointers. He's going to shoot it. He wants to spread out the court a little bit. He will play with Gobert. He'll play just by the only center on the court. So look at Naz Reid to put in 2 3-pointers at minus 105.
I love Naz Reid. I love how this dude plays. He's not like a normal. You don't go say, he can score 20, and then sometimes he'll score 20. Dare I ask, DG, why you call Karl Anthony Towns the big meow?
So they call him the big cat. They might call him the big purr. But Josh Hart just recently calls him the big meow.
Oh, my God.
I love it.
I hate it. Raphael, let's move on from that. You've got 2 big plays tonight. You're also on a little college football. Talk to me.
I love the big meow. I'm a cat dad, so I have to respect that. But give me Sam Houston State.
That does not surprise me. Does not surprise me.
Give me Sam Houston State team total over 26.5. They just got their 4-game winning streak snapped last week, so they're going to become a little PO. The Bearcats on the road are averaging 29 points a game, and all season they're averaging 29 points a game. So I think they fly over this total 26.5. I'll lay the 3 nickels, and then get Anthony Davis under 12.5 rebounds to Brow. Something's going to happen with him. He may not even finish the game. He might tear something. He might limp off. We don't know what's going to happen to Anthony, because right now it's the James story today. Something weird is going to happen to Anthony. He's only averaging 9 rebounds per game against the Timberwolves in his career. I can see something bad happening to Anthony Davis. Not hopefully, but I can see it.
Did I hear you use that dirty language, PO'd? Did you just say that?
Mm-hmm.
PO? You're allowed to say pissed. You can say pissed. It's okay. I want to hear
You
you
want to be fine.
Say pissed.
Pissed.
See, doesn't it feel good? Doesn't it feel good? Yeah.
Little scratchy on the throat.
Yeah. Christian says purr. No, Christian, we're not cat people here. We are dog people on DTL. We're not going to feed into what Raphael likes with 3 cats running around behind him in the office. Oh, my God. I was actually
Twins.
kidding.
They're twins, too.
Oh, my God. This is a family thing. It's a family thing for you. Holy cow. All right. Big Chuck, let me come over to you, big boy, because the leagues are now back playing, and I love these midweek games. This is a bounce back Tuesday for the show, so we've got to start with a little day soccer. Let's go.
The Champions League returns this week, and we go to the French Riviera, where Monaco averaged 2 team goals per European contest, while Red Star Belgrade, they've conceded 6 goals over that same span of play, and based on their style of play, I'll take the over 3. Next, we travel to Italy, where AC Milan averaged 2.5 team goals this season, and Club Brugge, they averaged 1.7 team goals away from home. So good, give me the both teams to score and over 2.5 in this spot. And lastly, we have a rematch of the Champions League final between Real Madrid and Dortmund that finished low scoring. I see a different outcome with the both teams scoring over 2.5 that is cashed in 8 of the last 10 combined games for these two clubs.
And to be clear, this is Champions League action, correct?
That is correct.
Champions League. Okay, so if you're going into your account, don't look at the normal league like Bundesliga, Serie A, but you got to look at the Champions League. It's pretty easy to find. They're usually right at the top. Quick question from the chat for Raphael. Are the starting quarterback and running backs playing for Sam Houston tonight? Do you know?
Quarterback has concussion. He did practice yesterday. I think he did clear concussion protocols. The running back is still double question mark as I'm looking at my screen. So double question mark usually means probably not playing.
And did that play? Couple of things here.
Dog
DG,
people?
you know, is that a pug or a bulldog?
It's a pug.
All right. So in high school, I was a bull pup. Then my college, I stayed in the same town with the college. I was a bulldog. I've always felt like it was my calling to have a bulldog as a pet. And then my daughter made me get not a bulldog. So anytime I see a pug or a bulldog, I'm here for it, man. I love it. You also have a cat, though, that digs up those stupid moles in the backyard.
Yeah. Catches one a day, pretty much. That's Duke. Duke's the man.
God, you're very conflicted. Matt says, what a cute pup. Ha ha, pug. What up, dog, says Greg. We've literally got off the rails. We're still in the A's. We're still in the freaking A's. Real quick, as far as Bronny and LeBron tonight goes, DG, do you think, because we always try to bring it back to a betting perspective, but I feel like the storyline is overriding anything as far as really breaking down what this game should be on the court?
Yeah, the game, honestly, I think the Timberwolves run off with this game. I like LeBron. He usually shows up in the first game. But if we're looking at the Bronny of it all, I don't even know if there's lines out for him. If there is, play the unders because it's probably going to be free money. Because I can't imagine you being in LA and them giving you a line that they don't think people are going to go over on. And so if you're a true bettor, I would say go the under on Bronny because I can't imagine him playing more than 8, maybe 10 minutes at max just to put him out there. That's it.
Raphael, are there any lines out for Bronny tonight at all? Can you bet on him?
They will be sometime this afternoon. I got requested on that. Yeah, DG's right. 8 to 10 minutes, maybe 2-3 points per game on this one. I think they just put him out there just to get it over with because he'll probably be in the G League sometime this week.
All right, very good. Sports Sleuth, sorry for you. The damn boss is calling a meeting at 10:14 a.m. Eastern time. Hope to catch the end of the show. Thanks for all. Hey, you're in luck. We repeat at 4 p.m. Eastern this afternoon. So you can watch the whole show there. We're on twice on Stadium. Simply what we do. All right, we're just getting started. Feeling good. I love the vibes on opening day for the NBA. Still to come. We're looking ahead to the week in the NFL. How about a little prize picks over, under, more or less? It's DTL live in the morning only on Stadium. All right, all you degenerates out there that continue to watch on our YouTube page. There is some NFL news out there, and Jameson Williams, second on the Lions in receiving yards, second on the Lions in touchdowns. Raphael, he's going to have a 2-game suspension for violating the NFL's performance enhancing substances policy. That's a mouthful right there. He says, I'm disappointed, but I got to take it on the chin, whatever that means. Do you think this affects the Lions at all?
No, they still have enough offensive weapons out there. It's a shame, and I wish they would tell us what it is, because you can go to GNC and any of the ones and put something in your mouth, and it's going to come up a fail test. I've seen it in casinos when I was trying to hire people, and they would say, I'm taking this, I'm taking that, and it was nothing to ban something. So I wish they would tell us what it was in that system so we can know if he did cheat, if he didn't cheat, or if maybe he was just taking it something because maybe he has something in the past. But just tell us what it is.
Exactly. DG, in basketball, football, you don't normally see steroids or something like that. And so for him to say, and plus he's a receiver, he needs that quickness. I would love to know what it is too.
Yeah, and like Raphael said, it could be something over the counter. It's just everything it just depends on what's in the actual, I guess, a supplement that he's taking. It could be a numerous of things. It could be something just completely stupid. It could be something he's trying to get away with. But I can't imagine it is anything but trying to recover your body. And that's really what they need. Who knows what it could be, though? They need to tell us.
20 seconds, Charles. At least it's the Lions. They've got a lot of weapons on that team.
He'll certainly be missed, but I'm sure Khalif Raymond will step in and take his spot for the meantime. But yeah, it's always shocking to see this and not give any further details. So I'm also curious to find out what exactly he put in his body.
All right, the Lions continue to be in first place, tied with the Minnesota Vikings at 5-1, and I still believe they are the favorites, or should be the favorites, to win the whole damn thing. Certainly to come out of the NFC. They're playing great right now. They're completely cohesive. I love the post-game fire-ups by Dan Campbell. So I'm all in on the Lions. This is just a blip. He'll just glaze over this. This won't even be an issue in the locker room. All right, it's time to talk NFL. We're back on Stadium in just 5 seconds. All right, welcome back on a glorious Bounce Back Tuesday. It is DTL Live on Stadium, Amazon Prime, Roku TV, YouTube TV, the Stadium app. I've got DG, Raphael, and my man Big Chuck in the house today. Now, gentlemen, before we get to our look-aheads for the week in the NFL, we always do that on Tuesday. There are some big stories, DG, coming out of the NFL. And the biggest one yesterday, it broke late, that Debo from the 49ers, it just keeps on getting worse after Ayuk was diagnosed with a torn ACL. It's been diagnosed that he had freaking pneumonia on the sideline when it looked like he was going to throw up the entire first half of the game. He's in the hospital, pneumonia, which can be very, very serious. How much does this continue to hurt the 49ers? My goodness.
The 49ers are so banged up. It is crazy. But the fact that he played or tried to play with pneumonia is crazy to me. But you have to give him, obviously, his props on that. But this can be very, very serious. And so I'm glad that he was able to get to the hospital and get healthy, because this is something you could die from. And so shout out to him. Hopefully he gets better.
Yeah, Raphael, this is a situation that now we're not even talking about the 49ers as an NFC favorite. They're 3-4. They're under 500. That's the narrative in our heads. But with Debo out and Ayuk out, and it's a mess in San Francisco.
Yeah, and it's kind of shocks me how when we look at their record, when they were supposed to be Super Bowl favorites, we don't really downgrade them because we just see their injury reports. Hey, you know what? They're 3-4 because of everyone. If this was, let's say, the Bengals, who are not injury prone, and we're looking at what a disappointing season the Bengals are, they should be winning the division or close. 49ers, they're just all banged up, and you don't want to mess around with pneumonia. I've had it. It stinks. It's scary. I'm blown away. He was able to put his jersey on and pads with pneumonia. I'm glad he's at the hospital and getting his care.
Yeah, I tell you what, it is so scary to think what could have happened on the sidelines as he stood there and was doing this whole thing. And,
yes.
And it's Big Chuck. Last take on this as we move on.
I'm happy that it wasn't anything significant, especially since we saw Harbaugh the week before having to go into the medical tent for his issue. So luckily we didn't see anything transpire on the field. So, but yeah, this 49ers team, they're just the walking wounded. It's the Super Bowl hangover is real. So hopefully they can get some more, get a little bit healthier and compete. But you hate to see that. And I hope Debo gets well soon.
Matt said, as a diehard Niners fan, this all just hurts. There's no other way to say it. It does. Fandom sucks sometimes. And right now it's hard to be a 49ers fan. It's hard to see them as even a team that could remotely be a threat in the playoffs. But I tell you who is a team that's playing on Thursday Night Football. And I'm talking about the Minnesota Vikings. They're on the road right out here in La La Land to take on the Rams. We'll be live at 7 Eastern time on Stadium. The Vikings on the road coming off that really hard loss to the Lions, DG. They're laying 3, a full field goal, and the total sitting at 48. I kind of like the under in this one because I don't think the Rams can score that much. They barely beat the Raiders last week. But I want to see how the Vikings bounce back on Thursday in only 4 days after that difficult loss.
Yeah, the loss was big, honestly, but I think that the Minnesota Vikings are a very, very good team. I think that they are still being underrated in a sense, even though they played so well. But they're going to go against a team that's not the Detroit Lions, and so I expect them to kind of put it on them. I'm very bullish on them. The 3, I wish it was 2.5, but I would take the 3 if you're looking at just the money line here or the spread.
Well, Joe says, I'll be there, coach. My Vikings don't lose when I am there. Raphael, whenever teams come to L.A., it's almost like every franchise puts together a travel package, and it's always to an L.A. game for their, for that one travel. And I fully expect Thursday night them to be a lot of Vikings fans in SoFi.
Going to be a skull crowd. And this game reminds me of last night's game. 3 right now. And I'm sorry, DG, you're not going to see 2.5 and you're not going to see 3. This one's going to be 3.5 or higher by kickoff. I think skull bettors will be all over this. I agree with Coach. 48. There's a couple 48.5s out there. I think it's going to be an under game, but I like Minnesota. Grab the 3 now. It's not going to be there later.
And by the half a point, you got to start listening to Raphael. He nailed it last night on the first Monday night game. Yeah, go ahead, Raphael.
You do not buy a half a point on Tuesday when the game is on Thursday. Wait, because if the number moves the opposite of what I just said, then you wasted 20 cents. I rather tell people, I was going to buy a half a point and I missed it, than buying a half a point, wasting the 20 cents and lose.
But you just said that it will likely go up.
Yeah, but we have 2 days. An injury can happen. This is gambling. Roll the dice. Don't waste the 20 cents if you don't have to. What if something happens today? Breaking news can happen, and it goes down to 2.5.
I mean, I guess that's possible. All right, you're a numbers guy. I don't want to argue with you. All right, let's flip it over to Big Chuck. Let's start looking at some key games that we are focusing on this week. And the reason we do this on Tuesdays is to really, as Raphael just said, beat the number. And in the NFL, they move throughout the week. They're always going. A big one in the NFC South. The Falcons, they laid an egg on Sunday. The Bucs last night, they couldn't stop Lamar. They couldn't stop Derrick Henry. This is a big one in that division. The Falcons are the favorite on the road, -2.5. I know exactly where I'm going in this one, Big Chuck, and that's to the total.
I was looking at this total, which they had a high-scoring game the first time. I think this one may be more defensive-oriented. We may see a under in this one. Tampa Bay is without their, Evans and Godwin, so I'm sure they'll try to run the ball, keep it away from Kirk and company, and try to keep it just a ground and pound. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lower score in this one. And this kind of reminds me of the Saints when they played the Bucs, all banged up, and then people were kind of looking at the Saints, and then they ended up getting blown out. I think this is Falcons in an under spot for me personally.
Michael says Mayfield to throw an interception, easy money, LOL. DG, I don't even know what he was looking at last night on a couple of those interceptions. It literally like he was throwing it right to the other team. And then they showed the replay. You see the guys moving and you see how difficult it is to play quarterback in the NFL. But last time they played, Chuck is right. They scored 66 points and it went to overtime. I think it's more of the same. I respectfully disagree with Charles today.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Falcons. I know Charles mentioned them, but the Falcons in general have looked okay enough for me to back them. But the biggest thing if you look at the Bucs, I don't know who he's going to throw to. Like, honestly, you have Mike Evans, who's going to be out. Chris Godwin's probably out for the season. Like, who's Baker going to have to throw to? Like, at this point, I'm surprised that it's not going to be higher than that. It's at -2.5 for the Falcons. I know they're not an amazing team, and the Bucs have been. But, man, I just think that Atlanta can beat up on a team that doesn't have a lot of options to throw to.
I don't know if I've ever seen a season, Raphael, that it has more injuries to key players, key teams than we've seen through the first 7 weeks of the season. And DG just highlighted 2 from last night. and Mike Evans got hurt on a play that he should have caught a touchdown. And then what happened? The next play, interception in the end zone. So these things not only are hurting, but then they're hurting some more.
Yeah, it's weird that all 3 games we're showing are all road favorites, and the road favorites have been dominant. We saw one yesterday, the Baltimore Ravens dominated as a road favorite. I like Atlanta in this spot. They got blown out at home by Seattle. Even Geno Smith didn't even have a great passing game. I think Atlanta bounces back, and Tampa Bay with injuries all over the place on wide receivers. We've seen teams have had to throw to guys maybe off the practice squad, have nowhere to be found on the game. So this could be a very interesting game for Baker. I like Atlanta to bounce back from that home loss.
All right, so collectively, I think we like Atlanta. I think we're favoring the under because of the injuries. Game number 2, and this one, it's going to be a sneaky, really good game and a sneaky, important game. And Charles, Buffalo on the road laying 3. I was very impressed with Seattle. We were all over. You and I invested in that Atlanta game. And Seattle went on the road, early start time, and they laid the wood to the Falcons. Now they come back home, and Buffalo comes in town, and they're playing really good. They just laid out the Titans, but I'm a little bit surprised that this one is a 3-point favorite on the road. Are you?
Absolutely. I like the Seahawks catching 3 in this spot. I think this is going to be high scoring in this one also. I think we're going to see plenty of points put up between these 2 teams. But yeah, give me +3 with the Seahawks. I'm going to be anxious to see if this one moves down to 2.5 or goes to 3.5. This is one that you may want to really keep an eye on. So I know my man Mr. Shefty will have more information on how that's going to move. But yeah, definitely like the Seahawks and plenty of points in this one.
Raphael, let me come over to you, big boy, because the Bills are, they're one of those teams that they have a different identity now, just like the Chargers. And it's hard for us as fans to understand as that changes. But they're no longer just slinging it. I think last week is kind of, in the last 2 weeks, is the Bills team that we should think will show up every single week.
The Seattle team confuses me. Sometimes they play good, sometimes they lay an egg. Now they're at home coming off a big road win in Buffalo. They have that number 1 receiver now in Cooper. Now they have more weapons. I'm looking at Buffalo laying a -3 on this one. I agree with Big Chuck, 47.5. This one will be 48 or higher by kickoff. I think we see a lot of points scored in this one. So grab the total now. I don't think 47.5 will be there.
Michael says, call me crazy, but I think the Seahawks can win that game. I don't think you're crazy, Michael. I think they absolutely can. Final featured game today. DG, I'm coming to you because this one is awesome. And we thought, and we still might, but we thought this was going to be a matchup between number 1 and number 2. Caleb Williams playing awesome for the Bears coming off a bye week. But Jaden Daniels, rib injury. Pretty good news coming out of the Washington camp that it's going to be week to week. They said he possibly could play this Sunday. I doubt it. So it's probably going to be Marcus Mariota, and that's why the Bears right now are 2.5. Do you think if they announce that Daniels can play, that this number will start to come down and get closer to even?
I think it'll definitely get a lot closer. I think you might see like a 1 there or maybe a pick 'em, but Jaden Daniels is that good. And I think that you can obviously have some protectors there around your rib cage for sure that might be beneficial. And so you could see a young guy be put out there just because they have a chance to win. And especially the narrative going against Caleb Williams, you got to show him that you're better than him. I think that they would, he's going to fight to get out there any chance he can.
Oh, and I feel that, Raphael. I feel like he wants to. And a lot of the chat, they are kind of split. We've got about 30 seconds for you. How do you see this matchup right now, early today?
If you're a Bears fan, you're hoping he plays because that 2.5 won't be there. You can grab probably pick 'em or plus money. So wait on the injury report on this game.
All right, very good. So that is our look ahead. Remember, we do it every single Tuesday right here on DTL in the morning, and then we replay it at 4 p.m. Eastern in the afternoon if you missed any of this content. Also, we dive further into all of these games on DTL, the podcast, so I encourage you to download that as well. It drops around 2 p.m. Eastern in the afternoon. All right, still to come, it is day 1. It is night 1 in the National Basketball Association. The big stars are about to be out, but do you like them more or less than their season numbers? We'll play that little game. Coming up next, we're about halfway through a glorious morning. It's DTL live only on Stadium. All right, all of you degenerates out there, and tonight, DG, and I told you I love moments. I love storylines. That's what I'm all about. And it's kind of cool that Ken Griffey Jr., more than 30 years after he made history with his father playing together at the same time, they will be in LA. He's taking his dad to the game to potentially see history being made between LeBron and Bronny. I'm a sap. I can admit it. Are you into this story?
I'm in it a little bit. I love that the Griffeys are there. I love that they're kind of being the father-son, I guess, combo that's being touted so much. I love Griffey growing up as a kid. So anything you do at Griffey, I'm in. I'm all aboard.
He had the sweetest swing, Raphael,
Yes.
didn't he? The sweetest swing.
Him and Will Clark had the best left-handed swing during that time. I agree. Loved watching Ken Griffey Jr. And I'm going to be watching the game because of Griffey's more than because of LeBron. This could be an ugly bloodbath game between the Lakers and Minnesota. But if Griffey's there, I'm watching.
Charles, you into this at all?
I love it. Griffey's, they kind of set the trend for this father-son duo in the early 90s or late 80s, early 90s. So, yeah, they did. We've seen it kind of get carried on. So, yeah, I'm very excited to see this particular game and the Griffeys in attendance.
All right, quick one. Spell Dog has a question for DG. Would you play La Tech 14.5 points in the first half?
I wouldn't. I think, and he's already found a 13.5, which is good. I would not play a 14.5. That's a big key number. You can find 13.5. If it does move, it will 100% during the day. Wait till closer to the game. It will fall back. They got to try to see, as Raphael always says, get money on both sides of the number.
How have we seen? Have these Tuesday and Wednesday games, because I haven't paid a lot of attention to them as I'm trying to run this, this whole juggernaut we've got going. Have they been different, Raphael, 15 seconds, than the weekend games at all? Anyway?
They have. Tonight's will be different because of NBA and a full schedule in NHL. These two college football games probably will get little action.
Okay. Very, very good. Thank you very much, guys, for that. We're just about back on Stadium, and I'm telling you what, whenever you have night one, NBA, NHL, I feel like Weekend Wager is going to be tackling all the ice stuff for us on Friday. That's exactly why we started DTL. So it's time to talk a little association. Next, we're back on Stadium in just 5 seconds. All right, welcome back. We crossed the bottom of the hour live on Stadium, Amazon Prime, YouTube TV. In a couple of weeks, another big platform is on the way. We will announce that next week. Listen to Liddy. He says, take your units down to just a quarter. And I think, Raphael, that's a really good educate and entertain topic, which we're not doing right now. But when you're starting a season off and you really don't know what a team has or how a team is going to perform, do you normally take your unit size down for the first week or two, like in the start of the NBA season?
Oh, definitely. Just because you don't know how the teams are going to look at the Knicks, who have different guys on their roster. I would say take the first week and maybe half a unit size on it just to see how the flow and the tempo goes.
Yeah, DG, tonight, as we show everybody, it's a doubleheader. It's on TNT. And you got the Celtics the first game, and they're the defending champions. And as we look at props, I wonder if maybe we should go under also in the first week or two, because they may ease them into it. Because we've seen whenever a team has to play into June, sometimes almost to July. LeBron did it for 12 times? Those extra months, some teams were done in April. So from a prop perspective, do you just hesitate a little bit on the teams that play deep?
Yeah, I'm definitely hesitating for sure. But also, I play it differently than some. I don't look at the big key superstars. A lot of those you want to play the unders. I look at those other guys that are the role players because they're going to have smaller numbers. They should have a set role. They come in, they score their points, they get their rebounds, whatever they do, and they're going to do that more consistently. You're going to find that with the role players. Some of those lines don't come out to the day of. Sometimes if they're a bench guy, the hour before a game. So that's how I play it. I like to go over on the role players.
We're going to start putting things out on social media at Driving the Line, at our own pages, because especially with the NBA, I think it's going to be really important that we take care of you guys throughout the day. And also, Charles, some of these teams, and I hate it, but LeBron said it in that Netflix show. He said he hates load management. Never knew that until I saw him say it. Load management is a real thing, and it makes it very difficult on futures, very difficult on certain players, because you don't know if this is going to be the year, for example, that Luka is going to be dialed back just a little bit.
And I think that they're trying to get away from the load management by putting it on like Prime, trying to put these as national televised games more often now. So I think that's kind of the intent of doing that, to try to get away from a lot of this load management. So I'm anxious to see if that works out, because we definitely need to get away from that. We need to see these players make as much money as they do, as fans having to pay as much as they do have to come out and see them. They should be able to play as much as possible.
You cannot make $60 million a year, or if you're Luka, it's going to be $70 million a year, and not show up when little Johnny has a ticket on November 21st to see you play against the T-Wolves. You just can't sit. Now, we know that Soupy works for Prize Picks, and he says, Coach, they have a really cool thing. They use different language. It's like more or less, demon, goblin, and we'll lean into them. But he sent in some numbers, even though he's not on the show today. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to look at them real quick. And these are the ones you can not bet, play, more or less. I'm learning the language. But Luka, I was shocked at this number. There's a reason I just said his name. I would play this under all day long, because DG last year in the finals, he started to wear down. And there is no way in God's green earth that they're going to play him enough in the regular season to get to 33 points a game. Your thoughts?
It's hard to get to 33.1 points per game throughout the entire season. He's going to have off night where he's scoring 20. There will be nights where he scores 40. But all in all, I'm going to go under on a lot of this season-long stuff, just because it's hard to keep that pace all year long, especially the way the NBA is, where they take games off and sometimes they play good, sometimes they play. I'm just going under on that for sure.
I do believe we're supposed to say more or less, since this is a Prize Pick. So I'm going less with Luka Doncic at under 31%. He has a new friend on the court, a new target, a new guy that has a chip on his shoulder that used to play for Golden State. So give me the under 31.1 points per game, or less. I apologize.
LeBron James, more 8 assists per game. He averaged 8.3 last season, and he's averaged 8.
Charles, we're talking about Luka right now. Luka, more or less 33 points a game.
Under. Less. Give me less.
All right, let's go to Anthony Davis. I know we're on this one for the game tonight, but his number for the year is the same number he has tonight for game number 1. Would we go more or less Anthony Davis for the season here, DG?
I'm going to surprise some people. I'm going to go over on this, just because I think when he plays, he's great. This doesn't take into account to when he's not playing, so that actually helps us. And so if he does get injured and he's off, hey, give me all those numbers. I think he goes over on this for sure.
Less. He ain't going to play that much this year. Give me less 12.2 rebounds per game. We're talking about Anthony Davis. No way.
Give me more. He's averaged this the last 2 years. Plus, I think we're going to see plenty of missed shots from this Lakers team, so he'll have plenty of opportunities to get this number. So, yeah, give me more for Anthony Davis.
I'm going to go more as well. I think that this is an all-in year for everybody. I think they're tired of hearing the noise. They're tired of hearing that they're going to be average. And I think AD, when he's in, if he misses games, remembers, that does not hurt his average. It just goes by the games that he actually plays in. All right, LeBron James, more or less 8 assists a game this year, DG.
Less. I'm fading the king. I just don't think he's going to be able. I know he's going to be more of a facilitator this year, but I think it's one of his last seasons. He's going to try to score as well.
I like the more 8 assists. If his son's out there, you know who he's going to be passing it to. He might have 8 assists when his son's on the court. I'm taking the 8 assists. I'm taking the more.
I'm also on the more. He averaged 8.3 last season, and he's hit this number 5 out of the last 8 seasons. He's going to have to definitely be a distributor within this flow of the offense. So LeBron James, more than 8 assists per game for the season.
I'm going to go over as well. I think it's much easier when you're trying to control your energy to pass, facilitate. And then I also think that with his son on the team, whether or not he's on the court a lot, he wants to be a leader. He wants to show the entire world that he can run this team. And to do that, you have to be a facilitator. I'm going to go north of 8 more at Prize Picks for LeBron James. Now, this next one is why I love Prize Picks. And I'm hoping that we can do this all the time with Prize Picks. But to be able to say more or less 4.83 pointers per game, this is kind of cool, DG. Where are we going?
I'm actually going to go less here. And I love Steph Curry. I think he's one of the best shooters of all time, if not the best. He's the only one they got anymore. I don't think that there's any respect for anybody else on this team. So he's going to be doubled up a lot.
I like the more. His splash brother ain't there, so you figure he's going to be gunning all over the place. I like 4.8. I think he averages close to 5, even 6.3 or 3 goals per game in the start of the season.
I'm with DG. I'm going to go less. He's averaged 3.9 for his career. Although missing Clay, I'm interested to see if he'll pick up that load. But I'll go ahead and go under the 4.8 for this season.
Apparently, the chat is really soft this morning, by the way. Liddy says, I'm quite sure that Charles didn't sign up to get yelled at. I'm sorry, Charles. What are we doing? If I tell my son, do this, and then we don't do it, and I look down like this, and I then emphasize, not yell at, emphasize what we're talking about. Am I out of line? Am I out of line?
Corrected. We got it corrected. We're moving on. Yeah. That's my bad. That's my bad, Liddy.
No,
That's my bad.
I'm not even yelling at you. I'm talking about the chat. They should be a lot thicker than this right now. My goodness. So SAWFT soft. All right. Now, the Nuggets. We know that Jokic never comes in shape. He admits it. He says, I don't like to work out in the offseason. I like to go home. I like to do my thing. And then I'll kind of use November and December to get back into shape. So with that knowledge, more or less 24.5 triple doubles for Jokic.
That's a big number, but the Joker is so good. Best player in the game right now. I think he has 25 plus triple doubles. So more, coach, more.
I agree more. 24.5. It's low. He might have 25 horse wins as well this season because he owns a lot of horses in the offseason. So I'll take the double horse wins and triple doubles.
Make that a trifecta. I'll go more. He has 130 for his career, so I think he's going to be carry a large load. So Jokic over 24, more 24.5 triple doubles for the season.
It does take a little bit to get used to the language at Prize Picks. There's a reason why they have it. I won't get into it right now, but there's a reason that you don't say bet. There's a reason you don't say a lot of those things. But we're learning. We're all learning together. Real quick, a bonus question, because it's always interesting to see how people value the MVP. And Jason Tatum, he took a lot of flack during the summer, and a lot of it was fake news, DG, that he was so upset because a lot of games in the Olympics, he didn't simply get to play in, and he was just the MVP of the finals. So the question now is, who do you think this year should be the favorite for the MVP?
Wow, that's such a that's so tough. There's so many good players in the league. I would say if I had to go with anybody, there's two guys I'm looking at, and it's Anthony Edwards and Ja Morant, just simply because they have so much to prove and because they can easily be the media darling. I think these other guys have won it. They've gotten their I guess their kudos. I'm looking at Anthony Edwards and Ja Morant to go after it.
Anthony Edwards in Minnesota, Ja Morant in Memphis. Raphael, I need you to answer this for at least 30 seconds. Who's your MVP?
Playing tonight, I'm taking the Ant-Man. He's going to be the MVP. He shines tonight, and he's going to shine all season long.
Listen, I don't know who the Ant-Man is that you're talking about, but I'll go ahead and I guess it's Anthony Davis is what we're going to go with today. So I do like Anthony Davis to have a big bounce back year. As long as Anthony Davis can stay healthy, I believe that he'll be a shoe-in to have some nominations at the end of the year.
Raphael, did you answer that question, or was that DG?
Both.
DG answered the second. Both did.
Oh, very good. Okay. I had like some sunlight. I felt like it was very sunny in my world. So, all right, real quick, I got about 20 seconds for you, Charles. Who's your MVP this year? Favorite right now?
Give me Shea with OKC. They're second favorites to win the title. I think if they're going to win it, it's going to fall on his shoulders. So, yeah, give me Shea and OKC.
It's really crazy because I think we forget about teams like they're in the Midwest. They don't get a lot of national attention. I think the same can be said in Minnesota. Right now, I'm seeing more videos of the Timberwolves star with the Vikings star and all these. I like the marketing, to be honest with you. But this man feels like he should be an NFL superstar, an NBA superstar, and I think he wants to prove to the world because he respects nobody. And tonight, getting a chance to go head up against the King on night number 1. It's going to be a big night, a big year. I'm going to go Minnesota for my MVP as well. We're working through it. It is DTL live on Stadium. All right. We continue on our YouTube page with all of our degenerates out there. Really good live number for a Tuesday as well. So thank you to all of you watching wherever, whether it's Stadium, whether it's YouTube, whatever it is. I cannot believe this story, Raphael. I'm going to start with you because you've done a lot of WNBA content for us this year. Came out yesterday that they could have a potential work stoppage if they can't figure out a deal because no, I want to hold that one. I want to hold that one until we get back on the Stadium. Let me go to this one because when we talk about different sports that are coming into play right now, and you're an NBA team and you have WNBA teams, there's a lot of negativity, and we'll get to this one in a second. But Raphael, the negativity is now bleeding over into the players for the WNBA. How do you rate the season for them coming off, the Liberty getting done after 27 years?
Namesake wise, the season was a success. Playing wise, I thought the season games, some of the bad refereeing, some of the situations that the players were in, negativity and all that, I thought that was all kind of downgrading in it. But for namesake with Caitlin, and then we have Paige Buckets coming in this season, I think name wise, the WNBA is sitting okay.
What about you, DG? Because you work in a city where they don't really have a WNBA team, right? And I don't know if they've ever even talked about it. But in some cities, they have become very popular, but I feel like it's been a negative season this year.
It has been a negative just for the narrative in general, but honestly, the money hasn't been there as well. That was the other big thing is the money really hasn't come in that they really wanted to, and it's their own fault. Like, let's just be honest, they screwed it up just in them. So I'm curious to see what it goes forward and see if they can go ahead and turn it, I guess, the better direction.
Yeah, that's the thing is, Charles, I got about 15 seconds. It seems like they've kind of done it to themselves. They didn't know how to handle all of this attention.
And that being said, yeah, they still had record numbers for viewership and attendance. So whatever they're doing right. They just kind of need to work out the exacts going forward. I think they'll be okay.
All right. Very, very good. The season is now over, but there's other big topics, and we're going to hit them coming out. We got topics right now, and then we've got the little whip around as well. It's a glorious Tuesday morning. Thank you to everybody. We're back on Stadium in 3 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. We are live on Stadium, Amazon Prime, YouTube TV, the Stadium app. DG, Raphael, Charles, they are here with me today. And this story came out yesterday, and I cannot believe what I am reading. And I've got to start with you, DG. You're our NBA guy. A lot of NBA teams, they own the WNBA, but they are two separate entities. The WNBA is facing a work stoppage because yesterday they opted out of their current collective bargaining agreement. So they have a deal through next season, and then if they can't agree to something, then they're going to sit out. A league that is struggling to get attention anyway. They have their biggest year ever, and their biggest gripe is their wages. Angel Reese came out this week and said, I can't even pay my rent with what I make in the WNBA. $8,000 a month, by the way. But is the WNBA finally getting to a point where they're just screwing the pooch every way that you can imagine?
I might take a side that maybe nobody else wants to take, but I'll simply just say, I think this is actually smart. And I know that might blow your mind, but I think that they're betting on themselves saying, hey, we might not have this opportunity again. We know now that we screwed it up, but we have Caitlin Clark, who has been a money maker for us. This is a chance for us to say, hey, we're going to bet on ourselves. We want a new deal, because if not, I think they might get behind the 8 ball on this one. So I think this is a good decision for them, unlike some people on social media think it's a bad.
Well, here's the thing. If it's a good decision for them to almost call out the owners of the NBA, but this is a numbers game, Raphael, and you're my numbers guy. And they always complain about, we want the same as the players. The players have a percentage. They get bigger deals. You just saw the new TV package. Amazon Prime, which we're on every single day, by the way. That's kind of cool to be on the same network as an NBA game. But they're paying billions and billions and billions. And so that trickles down to the players. And now a max salary is going to be somewhere around $70 million. To hear anybody in the WNBA even compare the two is crazy pants. And then to opt out, it might be smart, but how much more can they really get if the numbers don't change with TV?
But this is the time to do that, to roll the dice, gamble on yourselves. I agree with DG. This is their time to do it. I'm hoping they don't follow the playbook of NHL and Major League Baseball when they went on strike to do complete stoppage, because then every momentum they have right now will be dead in the water. But they have 2, 3, 4 girls coming into the league in the next couple of years that can shine just like Caitlin Clark. It's hot right now. Touch it. I agree. Roll the dice on yourselves right now.
I know you keep saying Paige buckets, but there has never been a player with the attention that Caitlin Clark has got when she came in. We're talking all.
She's going to LA probably.
Yeah, but it's not. I think you're overestimating the interest with some of these players. If you walk down the street, yeah, that's Caitlin Clark.
I'm not saying she's going to be Caitlin Clark, but she's a name. Everyone knows who she is. She's not even close to Caitlin. She can't carry Caitlin Clark's bag to the gym, but she is close. She is a name, and you put her on LA, who's coming back healthy next year. That's a big deal.
That's what I wanted to see right there. I want to see you get fired up, big boy. That's what I'm trying to get out of you. That's what I'm trying to get out of you. Charles, let me come over to you, because I agree with both guys. I agree that they need to take a stance that $74,000 for a first-round pick is ridiculous. But at some point, you also got to look at the reality. It happened with the women's soccer teams as well. They're like, we want all of this, but yet you're not going to pay them more than what they're bringing in. And the chat agrees with me on that. It's all about numbers.
I agree on that. Yeah, they definitely need to put their foot down, but if they're going to do it, they need to stand pat. But I just kind of find it hard to believe that's all they're bringing in when they're having record numbers. They just signed the TV deal to only get that amount. That just seems insane to me. I think they at least could double those as much revenue that's coming in. They've got interest, especially with Caitlin Clark in the league, and we have new players coming in. So yeah, if they're going to do it, they definitely need to stand pat and see it all the way through.
DG, go.
I think the biggest thing, Raphael said it, they cannot have a stoppage. That will screw everything up. They have to figure out a way to play. That in the end of the day, that is the number one thing they have to do, is figure out a way to play the games. If they don't, that's screwing up everything.
That literally will stop all of the momentum, regardless of all the arguments. All right, gentlemen, good discussion on a day that the NBA and all of their billions will be rolled out tonight with a doubleheader on TNT, which, by the way, this will be the last season that you'll be able to watch NBA games on TNT. All right, I see our live number. It's amazing. I need you all to hit the like button if you are watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Stadium, thank you very much. Now, if you weren't here at the top of the show, we've got you covered. We understand you got a lot going on. You got jobs. You're running around. We have a little something we like to call the whip around. All right, we go 10 seconds or less, one nugget on each play. Raphael, let's start with you.
You made a stand. Houston State team total over 26.5 minus 3 nickels. Quarterback probably playing, running back maybe not, but they score easily tonight. Anthony Davis for the Lakers under 12.5 rebounds, laying the 3 nickels. He might not even finish the game. We're talking about Anthony Davis here.
Everybody's taking shots at DG and the fact that he's going to church after this show. He might be, but I need his 3 picks right now.
Well, I'd like to testify that Louisiana Tech first half total team over 13.5 minus 125. They're good. UTEP is not. Karl Anthony Towns, 12 plus rebounds at plus 115. He's the only healthy center they have. He's going to play a lot of minutes. And then Naz Reid, my favorite play of the day, 2 plus 3-pointers at minus 105. He did this in every game versus Los Angeles Lakers last year.
This guy is so underrated, and he's an OG. So I think he'll come out and want to be very aggressive with some of those new players on the team after that trade. Big Chuck, Champions League, talk to me.
Monaco and Red Star Belgrade. Monaco averaged 2 goals at home, and Red Stars have conceded 6 goals in the tournament. So go ahead and give me the over 3. Then we have AC Milan, Club Brugge. Both teams to score in over 2.5. I think 2-1, 3-1 type of final score. Lastly, we have a rematch of this the latest Champions League final. Real Madrid, Dortmund. It was lower scoring in the first go round. I think we see plenty of goals in this one. So we'll also back to both teams to score in over 2.5. That is cashed in 8 of their last 10 combined matches.
All right, very good. And our crew play of the day, courtesy of our good friend, gone but never forgotten, You guys love the Minnesota Timberwolves -1 on the road tonight to lay it on the Lakers. And DG, 15 seconds. You love that pick, right?
Yeah, I think Minnesota's going to play well. I think Anthony Edwards has a lot to prove after his playoff performance he had last season.
All right. We end every single show with Rafi's stat of the day. Where are we going today, Raphael?
We're going to the NBA. The Lakers always struggle at the beginning of the season. When does the season start? The month of October. They are 1-10 against the spread in the month of October. Fade them tonight.
Wow. What do we make of that stat, Charles?
Yeah, I just roll whatever Rafi says.
So you weren't listening. Exactly. DG, do you have an answer, sir?
I don't. Honestly, because I can't figure out what you were saying. So if you could say it again, I would appreciate it because I couldn't understand exactly what you were talking about.
Please, Raphael.
In the month of October, the Lakers always struggle to start the season. The season starts in October every year. They are 1-10 against the spread in the month of October.
Gotcha. The 1-10 against the spread, I did not catch. So yes, I do like that part. I didn't hear that they were going to struggle, which I agree with. That was bad.
It was not good on our part. That's all right. That's all right. You have days like this. Do not forget, we replay at 4 p.m. Eastern time today on Stadium. We are live every single morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Remember, tomorrow is Rant Wednesday, and some things might surprise you for tomorrow's show as well. We also take a look forward to the week in college football because remember, we're only a couple of weeks away from the first playoff rankings coming out, and I, for one, cannot wait to see how all these teams are going to shake out after pretty much everybody, except for Oregon, has lost at least one game as of now. So in the meantime, understand this. There's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these Tuesday tickets straight to the pay window. My entire crew, Lobo, my man from the Dirty Charles, my numbers guy, Raphael, DG, looking smooth. Producer man, always making the show look like $1 million. I'm simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about every single day, right here on Stadium. Good luck.